tend to ramble. So this is a returning watch. This is the Smith's Trans Global. This is a very, beautiful dress watch from the micro brand Smith's. It's a homage of a Gerald Genta design watch, a Universal Genève pole router. And this is arguably my most complimented watch. I think it's very beautiful. I love the engraving of the globe on the case back. Just a very versatile, it's a dress watch, but it has a threaded crown and 100 meters of water resistance. So it's a little bit sporty, and I tend to wear it in, casual settings. I have it on this brown leather strap that I got from AliExpress. And this is one of the nicer straps that I've gotten from AliExpress. It's really nice, really soft. There's a thickness to it. Just a really, really nice strap. And I think it pairs well with my Trans Global. So this one is a new watch this year. This is a Bulova Jetstar. This is actually a UK only edition of the Jetstar. And this is probably my most worn watch this year. And the reason is that it's a quartz watch, but it's a sweeping, high frequency, high accuracy quartz watch. So as you can see, it renders like a automatic, that smooth sweeping seconds hand. And being high accuracy, it's always set. It's always to the right time. I only have to mess with the crown a few times a year when I have to maybe change the date. But it does have its limitations. Yes, it's an affordable watch, but it does have its drawbacks. I think the bracelet is okay. It has quick release spring bars, but the taper, it doesn't taper that much. I think 20 down to 18 maybe, or maybe 19, I don't know, I'm not sure. And it's a butterfly clasp. So on this bracelet, I don't really get that great of a fit. It's too tight or too loose. And I think it's way too polished. And I wish some of the surfaces was a little bit more brushed. And this is one of the watches, even though I said I wore it a lot last year, I think this is one of the watches that I'm a little bit on the fence about. But it's a great watch, great grab and go. I reach for it all the time. And the anthracite dial makes it matches pretty much with anything. It's also a pretty decent strap monster. It looks good on a plethora of straps. This is another new one, new to the video. This is my Yama Urban Feel. This is the 40 millimeter variant. So the Urban Feel is it's like a dressy field watch or a fieldy dress watch. I'm not really sure, but it's a gorgeous, gorgeous watch. It's a beautiful dial. This metallic golden dial. I love the indices, how it reminds me of like a California dial. It's like a very field watch type dial, but the case is really dressy, like it's really thin and it's completely polished. And the movement is gorgeous as well. It's a Sellita SW210 hand wound movement, and it's fully decorated. This is one of the watches I think I'm gonna move on from. It's a great watch, don't get me wrong. I just feel like I want to wear this as like a casual, I want to wear it as like a field watch. And it's too dressy. The case is too dressy for a field watch. And I already have two dress watches that aren't going anywhere. So just because it really doesn't have, the type of watch, it just doesn't really fit a role specifically in my collection. I'm very like weird with that. Like a watch has to have a specific role, and this one really doesn't. It's sort of a field watch, sort of a dress watch, but it's a gorgeous watch. The build quality is excellent. I just wish it was more of a field watch or more of a sports watch, more so than this like dressy hybrid type of thing. And this is the last watch that I think that might be on the move this year. This is a Mandala by Second Hour. Second Hour is a micro brand out of Australia, and they make these really beautiful watches. Their like thing is like geometric patterns, and as you can see with the guilloche on the dial, and you could also see it in their company logo. But this is a great watch, actually. It's powered by a Miyota, I think a 9 series Miyota movement. The bracelet is beautiful. I've had this watch for maybe like 6 months, maybe more, and I've never taken it off the bracelet. And that speaks a lot because I tend to experiment with straps a lot. That's pretty much like one of the favorite things to me about collecting. And if a watch stays on its bracelet this long, that means the bracelet is really good. I really like the look of the bracelet. I really like the finishing. They put an anti-scratch coating on this, and I don't know how well it reads, but this watch doesn't really have any scratches on it. And you can really tell by the clasp, because the clasp tends to be the first thing that scratches. But this is a gorgeous watch, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with the watch. I just want to try new watches, and like I said earlier, I have a 1-in, 1-out policy, and this is just one of them that's gonna go out. But other than that 1-in, 1-out policy, this is a great watch, especially for the money. The dial is gorgeous, the depth of the indices, just an original design, just a gorgeous watch. This is a gotta go anywhere, do anything watch. This is really, you only really need one. If you only really need like if you really want one affordable watch, this is a good candidate for that. The lume is pretty good for the type of watch. The crown guards make it more sportier. I really like the knurling on the crown. Signed crown. Just excellent value for the money. This is my Seiko Alpinist GMT. In last year's video, I had an Alpinist, but this one is an upgrade. So it is a new watch, but I had an Alpinist, a green dial Alpinist at that, the SPB Alpinist. And I love that watch. I love the Alpinist line in general from Seiko. But my green Alpinist, my SPB Alpinist from last year, I really love that watch. But I just had there was like a few little like, what I say, gripes, or just a few little quirks that the watch had that kind of bothered me. And this upgrade, the GMT, solved all of those things for me. So one of the first things is the inner rotating compass. On the SPB Alpinist, it was way too loose. On this one, it's a lot more stiff, and it doesn't move as easy as the SPB Alpinist. Another thing too was the bezel was entirely too polished for me, for my liking, and this one is completely brushed. But it's the same, pretty much the same case. I think it's a little bit thicker. The movement is now 3 full days. And it added with a GMT function, a gold rotor. And I currently have it on a president style bracelet from Uncle Seiko. To me, the GMT just adds so much more utility to already very utility. The Alpinist range is a very value-packed watch. You get a lot of watch for your money, in my opinion, and I think the GMT function just adds to that. This is literally the only watch someone needs. I know I said that about the second hour, but this one is that as well. If you just have about around $1,000, I'm sure you could get it for cheaper, but around $1,000, maybe a little less than $1,000, I would say like maybe like $800, one watch collection, gorgeous watch. I love the date at 4:30. To me, it's, you only see it when you want to see it. It's out of the way any other time. And this one took away the Cyclops, which I didn't like too, from the SPB Alpinist. This one is a keeper, and I don't think I'm gonna move on from this anytime soon. Another watch that's returning, this is my Zelos Mako version 3 in titanium. What can I say? This is probably the watch that it's a watch that I've had the longest now. It just stays in the collection because it's just excellent value. It's the only titanium watch in my collection, original design, excellent build quality. The bracelet might be the best bracelet in my collection. The clasp for sure is the best clasp in my collection. On the fly adjustment, it's well finished. Great dive watch. I take this on vacation all the time. And again, I'm not gonna say too much because I said everything last year about this. Another returning piece is my Young Hans Max Bill PVD coated dress watch. This watch is a legendary watch. The Bauhaus design from Max Bill. Very influential watch. Minimalist. Just a grown man watch. I currently have it on this custom ostrich. I think it's an ostrich. I had this strap made on Etsy. Just a gorgeous piece. I studied architecture in school, and the school of Bauhaus was something that we studied in school. And so this watch makes me think about school. It takes me back to sitting down in class and studying the Bauhaus School of Design. So this one is a new watch. I got it last year, but it came in just after I filmed the last State of the Collection video. But this is my Oris Big Crown Pointer Date in bronze. This is a beautiful watch. This is one of the few watches I have or I've come across in person that I think is perfect. I think it's perfect. I think there's nothing perfect, but this is, I won't change anything on this watch, to be honest with you. I think it's well designed. I love the pointer date complication. I love the inky maroonish dial. In some lights it looks brown. In some lights it looks even red, like when you get like direct sunlight. I love, it looks like a busy, you might think it's busy, but it's not. At a glance you can tell the time pretty fast. I really like that about this particular watch. So I've had this watch about a year now, and you can see the patina there. I actually have the bracelet. This one came on a bracelet. I haven't worn the bracelet a lot because sometimes I feel like it's too much bronze, but it's like I think like a 5-link bracelet. So I really wear it a lot on straps. I currently have it on this custom made matching strap. I got this one from Etsy, and I think it matches the watch really well. Again, I love the indices, the cathedral hands, the coin edge bezel, and I like how they carried that design to the back, that coin edge. The famous Oris red rotor. The big crown is a pleasure to wind and to operate, and I like how the knurling on the bezel matches the crown. I just think this is a masterclass of a watch in terms of design. This one is a new watch. I got this one, I had this now like maybe 3 months or so, 3-4 months. This is my Tissot Telemeter Heritage 1938. It's pretty much a remake or a reissue of one of Tissot's chronographs in the 1930s. A lot of chronographs in those times look, pretty much like this. Kind of had this type of design to it. And chronographs is a thing that it's a type of watch that doesn't really stick. It doesn't stick. But this one does. It's a Valjoux. And Valjoux tend to be really loud and noisy movements. But for some reason, I don't know what is it. I don't know if it's the case, but this one isn't as loud and it's not as thick as some of the other Valjoux watches that I've had in my collection. I think I've had 2 Valjoux chronographs, and this one it's just thinner than the others. I don't know if it's maybe how they designed the case, maybe. I don't know, that maybe hides some of the thickness, but it just wears better than a lot of Valjoux chronographs that I've come across. And you could tell that it's thinnish because I have it on a single pass. If it was too thick already, I wouldn't put it on a single pass. This is one of the things that I discovered in 2024. I really tried a lot of single pass NATOs. I don't like double pass NATOs. So it was like a goal of mine to try a lot of NATO straps, and the single pass NATOs was the ones that I gravitated to. And then I would say late 2024, I discovered the Octopod, and I just converted all my regular single pass NATOs to the Octopod. It's expensive. The buckle are expensive, but they tend to go on sale. But the straps itself are like $10, and you could change the strap. The straps are interchangeable to the buckle. So I have 2 buckles. I have one in 22 millimeters and I have one in 20. And I don't know if there's anything more to say. This is a watch I think I'm gonna have for a while. I love I guess it's like an onion-esque crown. And it's one of those, it's similar to the Oris, the big crown pointed date, whereas it looks like a busy watch, but really at a glance, you can tell the time pretty fast. I like how the indices, the numerals just stick out from the rest of the information on the watch. And from what I understand, these chronographs from Tissot, this style of chronograph from Tissot, I think was inspiration to the Speedmaster, if I'm not mistaken. So it does have some horological, how do you say, horological meaning or whatever to the watch, which I like. This is also a new addition. New because it wasn't in a video last year. This is my ball Marvelite Engineer 3. This is a great watch. This is a limited edition, 1 of 100. And it's a gorgeous watch. It's also a spec monster. You know, you have sapphire crystal. It's a chronometer. It has tritium tubes, 904L stainless steel, and it's anti-magnetic. I think it's like 16,000 Gauss, similar to a Milgauss. Screw down crown, 100 meters of water resistance, and you know, all from a brand like Ball that has a lot of heritage in the watch world. They started in America, but now everything is now they've always been Swiss made, but the brand was in America, and now everything is now moved to Switzerland. One of the drawbacks to this watch, I don't know, like, I don't wear it that much, even though I don't really desire to move on from it. I don't wear it that much. And I think the reason into it is, I think it's so polished, it's so shiny. Sometimes I'm afraid of scratching it, and it's an expensive watch. This watch cost me about a little bit over $2,000. For me, that's expensive. But so I don't reach for it that much. But it is a great watch, and I do like it. One of the things I don't like about it is, like I said, it's shiny, it's polished. But I think it looks so much like a Datejust. For some reason that bothers me. I don't know why. For a watch this price, I would really want original design, and for some reason I didn't realize that until I bought it. But it's a great watch, and I do like having it in the collection. I love the engraving on the case back, that train. I have it on a custom ostrich, again from Etsy. Champagne dial, gold indices, sunburst. This came on a bracelet. I still have the bracelet. I just don't really wear it on a bracelet. It's a butterfly clasp. And again, it's too shiny. And also it's a butterfly clasp. And it's not push button release. It's a friction clasp, butterfly clasp. So I don't tend to wear it a lot on the clasp, on the bracelet. A returning watch from last year. This is my Longines Zulu Time Spirit. I just love this watch. I think this might be my favorite watch in the collection. This is my designated travel watch. I love the bracelet. This is my best bracelet. Even though the clasp is pretty basic, it's a pretty basic clasp. But the links themselves and how they articulate and just how they feel, it's the best bracelet in my collection. The Zelos clasp is better than this clasp, but this bracelet is better. But I just love this watch. Very legible, well built. They put a lot into the dial. Traveler's GMT, 70 hours power reserve. I think it's anti-magnetic as well. It's also a chronometer. Sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, I believe, on both sides. Ceramic bezel. Just a great watch. If I had to nitpick anything about it, again, the clasp, I think, could have been a lot better, especially for a watch this price. And maybe the size. And I know they make the 39. This is the 42. They make the 39 millimeter variants, but the problem with the 39s is that the lug width, I mean, is like 21 millimeters, and that's a no for me. This one is 22, so that's why I don't think I'm gonna switch to the 39. I think I'm gonna keep this watch pretty much forever. I really do love it. Where it's a little bit big, especially the length, the lug to lug is pretty long, especially on the bracelet, but on straps it wears a lot better. But other than wearing a little bit big and the clasp, this is a great watch. And the final watch in my collection, and also the newest watch that I've obtained. This is my Tudor Black Bay 41. This is the Generation 2, the thicker one with the matching crown stem. I bought this new from Gray Market. This was pretty much my Christmas gift to myself. And I currently have it on a fully brushed Jubilee style bracelet from Uncle Seiko in aftermarket. When I purchased this, it came on a leather strap. And I really didn't wanna spend like $700 for a bracelet from Tudor. So I got an Uncle Seiko. It does the job really well, actually. I do want a Tudor clasp though. The ceramic clasp, I do want a Tudor clasp. And Uncle Seiko is the only aftermarket Tudor strap that's compatible with the original Tudor clasp. So that's why I went with the Uncle Seiko. I think a Tudor Black Bay looks best on a Jubilee style bracelet because it's a very elegant and dressy dive watch. It's not really that tooly, and I think it looks. I think oyster style is a little bit too tooly for a Tudor, in my opinion. But this is a great watch. This is easily my best watch. And I'm not gonna talk a lot about it because, you know, everybody knows about the Tudor Black Bay. I think it's probably the best bezel action in the business. Heritage brand, excellent quality. I just love the red bezel. I love how simple the dial is, fully symmetrical, no date. Just a spec monster of a watch, beast of a watch. Plain case back. I don't really like plain case backs, to be honest with you. I like when a watch has a nice engraving or maybe a nice looking movement or a nice looking rotor or something. I don't really just like plain case backs, but this watch is so good, like I'll forgive that. And that's kind of like Rolex's thing, right? Rolex and Tudor, that's their thing, the plain case back. So it's not like these guys are cutting corners or anything. That's pretty much what they do. And like I said, I got this one in December in 2024, and I think going forward, this will eventually become my favorite watch, and it's gonna be the watch that I'm pretty sure it'll be the watch that I wear the most in 2025. Just an excellent watch. I love winding the movement. excellent quality. It just streams. It's just a elegant, high quality watch. The reason why I went with the version 2, because the version 3 is out, the Metas. But my issue with the version 3 is the lug width. I think it's 21. It's 21. The lug width is 21 millimeters, and again, like I said earlier, like I just can't do 21. I can do 22, which I have. And also the version 3 doesn't have the crown stem, which I think looks amazing to me on the watch. It just makes it look different from any other. Only Tudor and maybe one other brand that I know that does this, and I think it just stands out. So guys, that's it. That's the state of my collection.